You walk into the gym, load the bar, and feel that little twinge in your shoulder again. You tell yourself it's nothing, just a warm-up ache. But one wrong rep, one hero lift, and suddenly, you're the guy clutching his back while the EMTs roll in. After 40, some classic gym moves quietly turn from muscle builders into injury traps. In the next few minutes, we'll show you 5 exercises every man over 40 should stop doing, and what to do instead to stay strong, pain-free, and in the game for life. No scare tactics, no fluff, just smart, science-backed training that keeps you lifting without the ambulance lights. Let's start with the one that's wrecked more shoulders than you think, the upright row. The barbell upright row looks innocent enough. You grip the bar, pull it up to your chin, and feel that satisfying burn in your shoulders. But inside your joint, something far less satisfying is happening. When your elbows rise above shoulder level with your palms turned in, your upper arm bone rotates inward, a motion called internal rotation under load. Studies in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research show that this position drastically narrows the subacromial space, the small gap where your rotator cuff tendons glide. Now imagine forcing a heavy barbell through that path, rep after rep. Each pull grinds the supraspinatus tendon against the acromion bone. It doesn't hurt right away. That's why so many guys over 40 think they're fine. But over months, the result is shoulder impingement, inflammation, and eventually, rotator cuff tears. Orthopedic specialists call this a high-risk, low-reward exercise, especially as shoulder cartilage thins and tissue elasticity declines with age. Here's the smarter play. Switch to dumbbell lateral raises or cable raises. They let your shoulders move naturally and target the same deltoids without the grind. Protect your joints, and your future self will thank you every time you lift your arm pain-free. It looks old school, something you've seen in vintage bodybuilding photos, pressing or pulling a bar behind your head. But biomechanics doesn't care about nostalgia. When you drag a bar behind your neck, your shoulders are forced into extreme external rotation while your elbows flare wide. This position twists the shoulder capsule, stressing the rotator cuff tendons and the acromioclavicular joint. Add load, and those delicate stabilizers start grinding like sandpaper. After 40, the cost climbs. The humeral head sits a little higher, collagen stiffens, and that deep stretch you feel is often micro-tearing tissue. Physical therapists call it the perfect setup for chronic impingement or a partial cuff tear, the kind that turns into full surgery later. The smarter move? Front of the head pressing with dumbbells or a neutral grip machine. Your shoulders stay in their natural range, your neck isn't jammed forward, and you still build the same delts and lats. Remember, strength training after 40 isn't about proving you can survive bad mechanics. It's about training intelligently so you can keep doing it for decades without becoming another rehab room story. The barbell back squat is legendary, a man's lift, the cornerstone of strength programs everywhere. But for men over 40, especially the low bar version, the biomechanics start working against you. Research shows that heavy axial loading in a flex trunk position creates intense shear forces at the L4 to L5 vertebrae, the same region where most herniated discs occur. Combine that with years of sitting, tight hips, and reduced ankle mobility, and the spine ends up doing the work your hips were meant to handle. Every rep under a heavy bar adds compressive stress not just to the spine, but to the knees as the pelvis tucks under, a movement called butt wink. Once you cross 40, connective tissue stiffens, discs lose fluid, and recovery takes longer, turning a great strength builder into an orthopedic gamble. You don't need to abandon squats, just evolve them. Goblet squats, front squats, and machine hack squats keep your torso upright and your load centered. You'll still hit your quads and glutes hard, minus the spinal punishment. The difference is subtle in the mirror, but massive in how your back feels the next morning. No exercise feels more primal than the deadlift. Raw power, full body engagement, total dominance of gravity. But here's the catch. After 40, your spine and connective tissue aren't the same. Biomechanical studies show that during the first few inches of a deadlift, the lumbosacral region experiences the highest shear and compressive forces, especially in a flex trunk position. Exactly where most men over 40 develop disc degeneration. Even a perfect setup can't change the physics. Long femurs, stiff hips, or limited hamstring mobility push the lower back into compromise. Every heavy pull compounds microstress in the lumbar discs, and recovery costs soar as collagen stiffens and fascia loses elasticity. What once built strength now chips away at it. That's why many physical therapists quietly move older lifters toward trap bar deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts. Both keep the load closer to your center of mass and reduce spinal torque dramatically. You still train your glutes, hamstrings, and grip, but the risk curve flattens. The trap bar in particular lets you maintain a neutral spine and stronger power line from heel to hip. It's the same intensity, smarter leverage. Because the goal isn't to lift less, it's to lift longer. You've done them for years. Crunches, sit-ups, endless ab circuits, chasing that midlife six-pack. But here's the truth. Most of those moves do more harm than good once you pass 40. Research from Dr. Stuart McGill, one of the world's leading spine biomechanists, shows that repeated spinal flexion, that curling motion of bringing your chest toward your knees, creates tiny tears in the discs over time. Each rep adds compressive stress to the lumbar spine and tightens the hip flexors, which are already shortened from hours of sitting. The result? A weaker, stiffer back and an overworked neck, not a stronger core. EMG studies confirm that traditional crunches barely engage the deep stabilizing muscles that actually protect your spine. Instead, focus on movements that resist motion rather than create it. Planks, payloft presses, cable rotations, and hanging leg raises build functional core strength that supports your posture, lifts, and daily life without grinding your discs. These smarter core moves not only protect your spine, they actually make your abs work harder in the way nature intended. Let's wrap this up with how to structure them into your routine safely after 40. Start with your core, then rebuild your routine around longevity. Replace the high-risk lifts with smarter variations. Goblet squats instead of back squats, trap bar pulls instead of floor deadlifts, and controlled presses in front of the head. 3 solid workouts a week paired with recovery, mobility, and sleep are worth far more than chasing PRs that punish your joints. Strength after 40 isn't about pushing harder. It's about moving better. Train to protect the body you've built, not break it down. Because when you move well, everything else follows. Energy, confidence, and consistency. If this hit home, subscribe for weekly, science-backed videos made for men over 40. You'll find the recovery and joint support supplements we personally use linked in the pinned comment. Stay sharp, stay mobile, and keep thriving in your second prime. If this video helped you in any way, even one small change you'll try tonight, leave a like. It tells the algorithm to show it to someone else who might need it. And if you want more clear, science-backed ways to protect your body and sharpen your mind after 40, stick around for more. Your second prime isn't about going back. It's about staying sharp, steady, and strong.